Hey everyone, welcome to my first YouTube video in regards to price action and charts. Due to time constraints right now, I thought a YouTube video might be the best option to go over some of the price action we're seeing, just so I can dive into a little bit more detail and go over what we're seeing on both a low time frame and a high time frame, without having to update Telegram every 5 minutes. So yesterday, I posted this chart here. And I wanted it to be pretty useful for people because it seems as though people are starting to panic in terms of the price action we're seeing right now. And honestly, we're pretty much in a low time frame trend until we see one of these key levels, which previously was support, and now they're being held as resistance. So what we need to see is price to break above a key level, validate that level as support, which in my opinion would be holding it on a 4-hour close, and then we can move upside again. So you can see here, I was pretty much indicating that we're in a low time frame trend if these previous support levels are now acting as resistance. And what we need to see is a valid support and resistance flip to sort of break that trend and reverse in terms of structure. So let's take a look quickly. If we remove the drawings and go down onto a low time frame, let's say a 4-hour, and let's take a look. Actually, let's go lower. And let's take a look at this sort of region we have here, which is back from the 9th of February. So pretty much a 1-month range. Let's draw out some levels of resistance. So we have this level here, this level here, and then we have this upper range, which sort of is a region between 5,500 and 5,400. So how this plays out is with our drawing tool. So we broke down from here. This region should have been acting as support to continue us to go higher. So we would be like this, and then a higher. This level broke down. So we see a breach of that level. Then this level is acting as resistance. So you can see this here. And this is where you would enter your short position. Then we continue down. And you can see here, there is if you went on a lower time frame, you would see it, but there was a wick up. So again, acted as resistance. And then we saw a breach into these lower regions, like 4,400 region. But right now, we're seeing price attempt to get back above this key resistance and flip it back into support, which would allow us to go back up higher and sort of indicate a low time frame trend reversal, signaling that the bottom could be in potentially between 48 and 4,500. It's hard to determine that right now on such a low time frame, but if we look at the 1 hour, you can see that price is still accumulating at this resistance. It's hard to determine if it's clearly been broken. But right now, I think with price being above $50,000, we can indicate that price looks better than it did last night. And as long as we keep seeing these wicks below 50,000 and price closing above it, I think in the low time frame, we're looking healthy and could continue higher. But we'll have to wait and see. So let's just zoom out a little bit. I just wanted to cover my opinions on this from yesterday first. So let's go to a daily chart. Actually, let's zoom out. Let's go to like a 1 week, and let's see what we can see here. So first thing, I'll draw a fib from the top of the current market down to the lows we saw in 2018, which was November. And let's also add in the 0.618. Where's that? Here. So these are pretty much the main 3 fib levels we want to be watching. The 0.618, the 0.5, and the 0.382. And we can see once we broke out, we had a perfect retest pretty much of the 0.5 region before climbing higher. And once we broke out at 0.618, technically we would be expecting to see this level retested at some point in the future. But for right now, depending on how we close this weekly, that we might just continue higher from here, and the low might be in. But generally speaking, I would not be surprised if we saw price just come back down, accumulate in this region, and then we continue upwards. But another thing to take into consideration is with the amount of institutions and the amount of liquid assets behind BTC right now looking to get into the market, similar to this, it'd be very likely that we don't actually accumulate and that we just wick down, wick back up, and it's like a V-shape recovery pattern. So yeah, that's sort of something to keep into consideration. While we was in 2018, we would have seen these long, drawn-out accumulation stages, where buyers sort of wanted to scale in slowly. But in this market right now, the buying pressure is so strong on the sidelines. I would not be surprised if most dips and most corrections are wicked up within a few days, like we've seen now on a daily time frame. So let's just take a quick look at the daily. One important level to mark out is probably here, which was the initial wick high of the previous range, and then also this level right here, which was the top of our breakout candle, which broke out of this trend line formation. You see here, oops, something like this. So you can see that price is pretty valid on this trend line. I'm guessing there was some type of diagonal breakout which caused this wick. So this is pretty much the important level we have to be watching right now, which is 4,600. I'll just write it down. You can see multiple wicks down to that level, and price pretty much tested previous trend line here, which is where we had some orders set and bounced pretty nicely. I guess we have some type of range here where price likes to accumulate. So yeah, not a terrible bounce. And honestly, I think we're pretty good as long as we hold above 50,000, like I said. I think if we see 50,000 rejected on the daily close, then we might be looking at taking a short position. But that said, we should be good as long as this region holds here. If this breaks, then God, we're looking for like 35 and then $30,000. But no worries for that for now. I still think price action is looking decently good, low time frame and high time frame. So yeah, that's pretty much it on Bitcoin right now. 50,000 is important to watch, and we have to wait and see if this level gets support validated or if it just acts as resistance. Let's take a look at some other stuff. Ethereum, obviously. Let's see. I might have to clear my charts. So if we have a look at this level right here, trend line was valid for, I think, over about 45 days. If we take a look at this candle right here, we can see that it was around 49 days. Price just kept climbing, using both the upper boundary and the lower boundary of this trend line as resistance and support. And honestly, I was expecting one more move upwards to 2150 until we broke downwards, sorry. So that was my original plan. But once we saw this candle close, this candle right here, you should be taking lots of profits off your positions and also expecting heavy downside movements, just considering the amount of time we've been in this range. The longer we continued in that range, the larger the breakdown would be. So let's go down to a 4 hour. And I did share this on Telegram. Actually, I want to show something on the 1 hour first. So you can see this level here is where we broke down, sorry. And then this level right here is where I'll take it as a region because it's only about a $50 difference. But this was acted then as resistance. So we would have something like breakout, retest. This is now not support. It's now resistance, and then we can continue the downtrend formation. Pretty much the exact same as this. It's just standard support and resistance flips. So yeah, now we've continued this downtrend, and on a 4 hour, seems to be going okay. Let's take a look at some key support and resistance levels we need to be watching. So usually just take my fib from wick to wick, or from candle to candle, whichever you prefer. If we go from candle to candle, it will be from here to here. And yeah, you can see we broke out, we broke down, we got a perfect retest of this 3.82 level, which is like 1,400, I think. And buyer stepped in to defend that. Let's take a look at the support we have here. So we have this chunky region right here, where price has defended previously. We saw that initial wick downwards to 1,500, being a very important level for Ethereum in both the high time frame and the low time frame environment. So yeah, so here on the daily it shows a lot better. Wicked above it, which is good to see. I was mentioning yesterday I wanted to see a close above 1,500 in the worst case scenario, and a close above 1,600 best case scenario. So I'm pretty happy with the close. 3 wicks all below, candle closes above, pretty clear price action. And now back above the 0.618 level, which you can see here. So you got fib and horizontal support and resistance. So looking good right now. Broke above it. You can see here. Broke above. Then we get this retest, which validates us as support. And now we can move higher again. Pretty much exactly what this is showing for the low time frame trend. And yeah, no major reason to panic right now. I guess we do have, in terms of resistance, we have like this level right here, and this level right here, which you can see we've wicked into today already, which is 1,700 to 1,000, about 1,700 region. Yeah, so we might see something like this over the next few, maybe a few hours, maybe a few days. Time will tell. But yeah, resistance between 1690 and 1720. I'm guessing we're going to break upwards if we see accumulation. Otherwise, if we're going to continue this downward trend, I would expect the trend to start probably within the next few hours. But I think accumulation at this level is bullish for price action and not bearish, because we are in a bull market, of course. So yeah, that's pretty much my analysis for ETH right now. Let's take a look at the weekly chart also. Let's clear. Yeah, so this looks actually really good. So you can see that we have this previous all-time high at 1,370, and price pretty much perfectly retested it. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, we saw the exact same thing on BTC, right? Maybe not. We just have these wicks here, but it wasn't into the previous all-time high. So a little bit different, but still very bullish. I think wicking back into the all-time high, which is obviously a historic level, is very good for price action. And yeah, I'm feeling pretty good. I shared my entry levels yesterday. I can actually show that right now. Where are we going? So here, we pretty much filled right at the bottom. Didn't get to fill the 25% at 1,250, but that's fine. I think this played out pretty well, and structure is looking good right now. This pretty much is exactly what played out, this bottom line. And yeah, we'll just keep an eye on it over the week, see the weekly close, and then I think if the weekly close is here, then we're good. If the weekly close is below 1,600, we might see a more conclusive retest of 1,400 region, maybe some accumulation. But yeah, as long as we're above this level, there is no reason to panic in the macro time frame, and price will likely continue upwards over the rest of the year. Is there anything else that needs charting right now? I'm going to start doing these videos as live streams, probably every Friday night or Saturday night. So yeah, if you like this video, give me a subscription, and I'll continue to make them. CTSI, I've been talking about this when I posted last night. I filled my orders. Yeah, this looks pretty healthy. Lovely retest of previous support, and now I'm expecting to trend back up to the 75 cents region over the coming few days. A lot also looking good now, bouncing back. What else? Okay. Yeah, everything else looks good right now. YFL. I'm not sure who's been watching this one, but we broke down this really important level. You can see here it's tested multiple times. Finally broke down yesterday, or 2 days ago. Not what you want to see, but we are now bouncing. That's a pretty hefty bounce, back above. Yeah, so 29% bounce. We need to see this level acted as a support, and then we can bounce higher. But yeah, until this level is closed on a daily time frame, still waiting for that to happen until entering a position. BNB not holding right now, just because I have bags from 2019 I'm still holding, and I think entering in price discovery is a little bit risky for me, even though they are doing a lot of stuff with the Binance chain, lots of IDO launches coming up, so that's interesting at least. Morph is actually one of my biggest positions still. This is where we entered somewhere around here 2 months ago, I think, or starting January, and then I think here actually was our entry, somewhere around this region. Got a lovely retest of the trendline support, bounced, broke $1, skyrocketed to pretty much $5, and now if we look at the 8-hour time frame, you can see that this, if I clear these wicks, which is what you want to be looking at. You want to be always looking for the wick high or the high of a range. So once we broke out, retest, once we broke out, retest, and now once we broke out, we got this huge breakout, but nevertheless we did get a retest of this region 160, which is pretty insane. So you saved yourself a 65% drop, but yeah, I got some order longs filled at this region as well yesterday. Yeah, I think the market is bouncing back nicely overall. I think that's pretty much it right now. What else are we looking at? BTC. Oh yeah, I can actually take a look at BTC. I want to actually update the RSI because I haven't looked at that today. Let's take a look. Pretty important for the 4 hours. So let's look at the EMAs and the RSI. I did share this yesterday. The 2 previous times we saw RSI bounce off this region was this bottom here, and pretty close was this bottom here, and then we've seen the same thing here. I can pretty much say that it was pretty close to the EMA, same here, which is the 200 EMA if I'm correct. pretty close and now bouncing. I guess we could be concerned if this level acts as resistance. We might continue downwards, but right now trend is still higher, and I think if we can get back above, because let's say the EMAs go like this, I think if we can get back above over the next few hours, I think we could be in for some pretty strong upside. Now we've wicked out a lot of weak hands, and the market has shifted. I think if we didn't drop yesterday or any time before March, we would have probably topped out at like 60,000 and just had a huge correction. The fact we are correcting now mid-cycle, seeing a nice 30% pullback is pretty bullish for price action. I'm super excited for where we're going to be going this year. But yeah, that's pretty much all I want to cover right now. Apologies if I spoke extremely fast or you didn't catch anything. I'm still learning to do this YouTube thing. But if you want to see more videos like this, please subscribe. And I will probably do it live stream this week. People like this video and want to see some more. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.